Hey, Richest, you money maniacs. Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to talk about bottom barrel basement rates that will extend on for years to infinity and beyond. Barrel bottom rates. Say that 5 times fast and see what happens. Let's get right to it. The Fed is at it again. Hey everybody, welcome back. Tom coming at you. Thanks so much for tuning in, all my money maniacs. What does it mean to be a money maniac? What am I talking about when I say that? Make sure you check out that video that I created called What is a Money Maniac? Because it's really exciting to be that. And it's actually even more exciting that there are more and more people subscribing to the channel every day. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe. We've got great information here for everybody who's trying to learn to master their finances. And what a money maniac is somebody who appreciates money as a tool and is respectful, but much more. You'll see that in the video. In this video today, we're going to talk about what the Fed has predicted for the next several years. They are so backed into a corner at this point that they're promising for the next few years they're going to stay close to or at 0% interest rates, which is insane, which is where, Japan and Venezuela and other countries have been for many years now. In fact, a decade, thanks for Japan, it's been a decade. And basically, they keep zombie corporations alive, a zombie economy, which basically means it walks and talks, but on the inside, it's dead and rotting, which is exactly what happens when you allow these types of monetary policies to continue in your own country. So, here's the article I want to read to you that sparked this video. Actually, and thanks to Mike Maloney and his hard-working team at goldsilver.com for posting this article so that I could see it and read it and go, holy cow, I got to do a video on this. Here we go. Got gold, bottom barrel rates to last for years to come. This is off of goldseek.com, GOLDSEEK.com. What do we got here? It says at least through 2023. That's how long the Federal Reserve expects near zero interest rates to last as it seeks to support an economy that's seen more than 60 million jobless claims since mid-March. Gold has thrived in this low rate environment, hitting an all-time high of $2,070 an ounce in early August. And I believe this price may be retested and surpassed given the extension of the Fed's easy money policy. What does that mean exactly for you if you're trying to master your finances? It means now's the time to buy some gold and silver. And actually, silver is even better because it's so much more undervalued than gold. Everybody's kind of focusing on gold right now, but a lot of people are starting to realize what a value gold is. Now remember, when you buy gold or silver, it's sort of like buying a stock that you anticipate will skyrocket suddenly. If you only have one share of a stock and it skyrockets, you only make the amount that you bought it at versus the amount you sell it at. That difference, you only make that difference times 1. But if you can buy 10 stocks, and then the amount that difference that you make from what you bought it at to what you sell it at, that's multiplied by 10. Now, the same thing is true with gold versus silver. Because gold is at, over $2,000 per ounce, 2,000 US currency dollars, right? Not real money, just fake currency. That means it would cost you $20,000 to buy 10 ounces of gold. Holy cow, who has $20,000 laying around right now? So many people are unemployed, no savings, are using their credit cards and can't get loans, can't even feed themselves, let alone buy gold, all right? What about silver? On goldsilver.com, they actually post continuously the gold-silver ratio and gold and silver spot prices. So on goldsilver.com, right now as I'm making this video, gold-silver ratio is 72.8%. Usually it's at 50. It was as high as 120 not too long ago when I started buying it. That was a great deal. Now, the price of gold, the spot price of silver, is now at, according to goldsilver.com, 26 0.76, so $26.76. Think about that. You can get an ounce of silver for $26.76 versus an ounce of gold for $2,000. So then you could buy 100 ounces of silver versus buying 1 ounce of gold. So now you've multiplied how much money you're going to make when the price goes up by 100, right? Remember? So the difference from when you buy to where you sell multiplied by how many ounces you have or how many stocks you have. See, that's something that's really important to keep in mind. That multiplier right there is what will make you the most money when silver prices and when gold prices, and if you're ever in the stock market, when stock prices start to move. You know, that's part of why so many people get excited about penny stocks. They get excited because they can buy a whole bunch of them, and then if it moves even just a little bit, they're winning on the volume side. They're buying tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of stocks at only a few cents per stock, and it only costs them, $2,000 or $3,000. And then when it moves, it makes them a whole bunch of money. Except that penny stocks are super risky. Here's the difference with silver versus gold versus stocks. You never lose. Gold and silver, sure, they may go up and down in price a little bit, but actually if you look at the history of the price of gold and silver, you always make way more than you ever would make in the stock market or mutual funds or anything else. The only thing else that comes close would be the consistent interest accrued tax-free through a laser fund. That would be it. And those are my 3 favorite things, as you know if you have seen my videos before. But think about this. The Federal Reserve has promised that the economy is so bad. Now, keep this in mind. They don't have a whole lot of tools at their disposal to affect the economy. And that's really not even supposed to be their deal, but we'll get into that another time. They only can print more money, or they can adjust interest rates, or they can do a couple other minor things, but the interest rates and how much money they print is really their main levers for trying to steer the boat, to try to steer the economy or the stock market, right? And now they've actually ventured into the realm of illegal activity, which is outside of their charter, which is the purchase of private equities, private real estate, private mortgages, private stocks, buying companies. Now everybody says, oh, well, it's not really the Federal Reserve doing it. Yeah, but they're printing the money to give to BlackRock to do the purchases for them. It's the same thing. So anyway, back to the point. The point being that as they print more and more money, that fake currency that you're calling a US dollar gets worth less and less. And so it costs you more and more to buy the same loaf of bread, the same gallon of milk, right? But silver and gold always hold value. Why is that? Well, it's a human thing. We love things that are shiny and heavy and rare. And yes, they are rare. So, what does this mean for you? You know that the US economy is headed down the path of zombieism, right? You know that every time you work and get a dollar bill in your hand, that the instant it enters your hand, it starts to lose more value through inflation, through taxation, through all kinds of different sneaky tricks that they are able to suck the value of and suck the power of purchasing goods with that dollar out of it every second of every day. Since the institution of the Federal Reserve in 1913, they have been sucking the value out of the dollar. But that's another video. So what do you do for mastering your finances? You move your value as quickly as physically possible into things that hold value for you, like a laser fund, like gold, and like silver. And you can be sure that gold and silver will go up regardless of how manipulated the market is. And here's why. Because never in the history of humankind, in recorded history, has anyone ever printed as much money as fast as the entire globe is. Quantitative easing was new in 2008, and now every central bank on the planet is doing it. Holy cow. Talk about debasement of currency. You can't steal value fast enough. Now, here's why they're doing it. because they know it's all crumbling around them. So they're printing and buying as fast as they can, because when they print it, they're the first ones to spend it, so they get the most purchasing power. But then as it works its way down from them to the corporate banks, to out to a loan, to a contractor, to out to somebody as a paycheck, by the time it gets to the store for groceries, that's when the inflation has completely and fully kicked in. And that person trying to use it from their paycheck to buy groceries suddenly has almost no value left. So here's the interesting thing, right? Everybody says, well, hey, salaries have gone up to keep up with inflation, right? But the fact of the matter is they have not gone up near enough. But that's a whole nother video. We'll talk about that another time. What's more important right now is that now you know what this means, that for the next several years, the dollar bill is going to be completely destroyed, and you need to move money into gold, silver, and possibly laser funds. And why am I not including real estate here? Can anybody answer that? Anybody's watched my videos before? Okay, if you haven't seen them before, I'll tell you real quick. Simply because real estate as a market is also in a huge bubble, and it's already collapsing. Look at the corporate real estate bankruptcies that are happening right now. Foreclosures, bankruptcies, huge corporate real estate companies going out of business, not making their payments. You know darn well that's going to happen in the real estate for private side also. It's already happening. I mean, so many people are out of work. But anyway, that's this video. So now you know this is the time to make sure you move your value, your purchasing value, into things that hold value for you and protect you. I'm going to read one more paragraph from this article for you. Opportunity cost of gold insanely low. Gold at $7,000 per ounce may seem unrealistic, but did you ever imagine we'd see a $26 trillion U.S. national debt, or a $15 trillion in global government bonds that trade with a negative yield? Do you know what a negative yield means? It means that you as an investor are paying the U.S. government to hold those bonds. Guess what negative interest rates mean in banking? You're paying the bank for the privilege of giving them your money. So that's a whole nother video that we'll get into another time. In the meantime, I hope that you found this video very helpful and informative. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Like I said before, if you're not already a money maniac, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We would love to have you. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next time.